Yeah, so take a look at this. So there's been a long-standing conversation about embedding. Embedding in World of Warcraft, or not World of Warcraft did it a little bit, but like mainly New World is a culprit of this. And then there's also F Extra Life. Like if you go to their website, let's see, are they live right now? I mean, I guess we'll find out by just seeing what the top channels are. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Looks like they're not. So that's probably, oh yeah, here we go. This guy right here has 8,000 viewers. Now, if you go into his chat, you know, clearly, all of the conversations here are just bullshit, and there's not really that many people actually watching him, right? He does not have 8,000 people that are actually in the stream. And so, this has been a problem for a long time, on Twitch, because the reason why, it's just the same 3 mods in his chat. Yeah, I actually, to be honest, was surprised there was anybody there. But, anyway. So, this guy is a Viewbotter, embedder, New World database, has this same stuff too. You go ahead and you open up the New World, subreddit here, and, they also have an embedded stream. And so if you go over and you look at the stream that's being embedded, this is a person who has 1,000 viewers. So really all they're doing here is they're just, basically using this as a way to farm as many ads as possible without actually having these viewers, right? So this is clearly a kind of a scam. Is that against TOS? No, it's not. It's not against TOS. And so anyway, a stream like this gets views. So this is kind of like what happens, right? Is that with a lot of embedded views, you don't really get ads played on the embedded views. But like if I go over and I'll explain kind of like why this is a problem. Twitch tracker, let's go ahead and just look at this real quick. And where's F Extra Life? So this guy right here are these people here. It's not just one person. So let's go ahead and see here. Do you think it should be against TOS? Yeah, I think it should, and I'll explain why. And so anyway, rank 37 on the entire platform. So out of all the streamers on the entire platform, F Extra Life is ranked number 37. And so those spikes right there are from, and again, like you look at this, like this is a person who had 60,000 viewers. That's the number right here. So you look at this person's stream, 60,000 viewers down to 18,000 viewers. Have you ever seen a stream that goes on for 4 hours with 17,000 viewers that only gains 92 followers? Right? So this is clearly a view-botting Andy, right? Now, why is this a problem? Why is having a lot of viewers from embedding a problem? Now, it's a problem for, honestly, it's primarily a problem for streamers, right? So, the reason why it's a problem for streamers is that if you go to the cyberpunk category, this person should not be here. And because this person is here, this person is not here. And everything on Twitch operates in a zero-sum environment. There are only so many placement slots at the top of a directory, and those placement slots need to be earned by people, or at least obtained in a way that is not completely artificial. So what ends up happening here is that you have somebody like this who is view-botting themselves, or embedding, again, functionally the same thing, themselves up to the top of a directory, and then suppressing all of the legitimate streamers down farther below that. Basically, what ends up happening is that people who deserve the viewership, people who deserve to have that placement, don't get that placement. And instead, the person who's cheating does get it. And how did this, and I think, again, this mainly affects streamers. So I can understand why, like, some people might not really, like, isn't that functionally the same? No, Amazon clearly has no issues with embedded streams driving views. They could clearly make them not count towards view count. I'm going to get to that, but it's going to take me some time, okay? Just be patient. So anyway, That's how it hurts streamers. Now, also, how does it hurt advertisers? Another way that it hurts the platform is that it hurts the platform in terms of advertisers, right? And I'm going to give you an example of advertisers being hurt by this practice, okay? So we're going to take a look at this article here. This is an article written, it was about, looks like about a week ago or so, 2 weeks ago. And Immortals of Avenum was a very popular game that was broadcast to a bunch of people whenever it came out, right? It had a huge marketing push, millions of dollars behind it. And I want to go ahead and draw attention to like one paragraph here. And if you look at this here, let me go ahead and see here. If you've been on Twitter and Twitch this last week, you've seen a bunch of streamers playing Immortals of Avenum, but as part of the sponsored ad campaigns, you can just search Immortals of Avenum ad on Twitter and see dozens and dozens of streamers who've been part of the campaign. To me, this shows the limits of a streamer-based ad campaign. This has been an absolute flood of sponsored streams, which no doubt cost EA a pretty penny. So what he's saying basically is that EA spent a tremendous amount of money on promoting Immortals of Avenum, right? Well, here's what the problem is. So if you look at, for example, F Extra Life, they actually were one of the people who got sponsored by Immortals of Avenum. And you can see it right here with their, because this is the website, it's twitchtracker.com. So you can look and see Immortals of Avenum, hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored by EA, right? So how much do you want to bet that a lot of the marketing budget that was meant for real streamers was spent on F Extra Life? You see what I'm saying? So like they ate up the marketing budget that real streamers deserve to have. And the outcome of that is articles that are calling into question the entire effectiveness of streamer marketing, thus hurting every streamer, causing them to maybe make less money or have people lose confidence in streamer promotions. So they're causing everybody to lose money because they're taking sponsorships like this and they're broadcasting it to 0 viewers. Nobody gives a shit. That's why they lost 260 followers during the stream. And guess what happens? Nobody sticks around to play the game. No real people are seeing the game. And regardless of whether the game is good or not, these people didn't deserve to get scammed. And they did. They did get scammed. I can guarantee you that they were probably, because here's a good way to look at it. How can you possibly quantify what the value of your stream promotion is if you don't have actual numbers? Because they embed every single time. And what do you think they're using? Do you think they're using the amount of views that they get from embedding? Or do you think they're using their total views? Well, they're going to be using their total views, including the ones that they get from embedding. So, using followings every stream. Yeah, of course, naturally. I mean, it makes sense, right? And so anyway, and this is only one example, right? There are a lot of other content creators who do the same thing. It should fall on the marketing firm as well. Oh yeah, no, you're definitely right. The marketing firm should have been more discerning. They should have known this. They were stupid for sponsoring them, absolutely. But these people are also bad for taking advantage of it, right? Both parties are bad. I'm surprised advertisers don't pick up on this, do they? I have no idea if they do or not. But anyway, I've heard from multiple people in the industry that it is problematic, but you know, I don't really have like a lot of details to share with that. And so anyway, the point is that you have people like this who are, and I want to, and so the point that I'm making, right, I'm trying to build a foundation of, so it hurts streamers because of the zero-sum environment of Twitch and the innate viewership, the aggregation, and how obviously the higher viewer streams are the most promoted. It's snowball effect. So that's how it hurts streamers. How does it hurt advertisers? Well, it hurts advertisers in this way. And why do advertisers, because a lot of you guys are probably going to say, let me, like, I don't give a fuck about if advertisers get hurt or not, right? A lot of people probably don't care. That's totally fine. I don't really give a fuck if EA gets scammed or not that much either, right? It's not my problem. It's not my issue. But the reason why it's problematic is because these actions have a ripple effect on everywhere. So, like, for example, streamers won't have as much money to invest into cool events because the people that are paying for the events won't be paying as much money. People will be less invested in Twitch as a whole. if advertising dollars go down on Twitch as a whole, then you're going to see less support for Twitch. You're going to see less chances for the bit rate of a certain game or certain streams to be increased. Like, this has been a big problem. It's becoming a bigger problem now that graphics are becoming more granular and more higher fidelity. And so more higher fidelity, right? And so that's how it hurts you as a viewer, right? And it also hurts you as a viewer because if you are not a discerning viewer, the reason why most streams are aggregated this way is that there is a general trend. I'm not saying that there's a one-to-one, but there is a general trend that viewership and entertainment value have a correlation. And if you scroll down to streamers that have 61 viewers, they are going to be, on average, less entertaining than streamers that have 6,100 viewers. So basically, you are effectively being fed bad streams, and those are the ones that are being promoted to you the most. Not true? It is true. I've streamed for 7 years. I don't... Who would be more qualified than me to talk about this? Who possibly would be more qualified than me? By the way, people mention Soda Pop and XQC. They'll say the same thing that I do. And so anyway, I've talked to them. We're very much on the same wavelength. And because, yeah, we know this. And so anyway, the point is that this does hurt viewers. And it makes it to where Twitch seems less interesting. Like, imagine if it's your first time on Twitch and the first thing you pull up is this garbage. A completely boring stream with no chat interaction, nothing going on. That's going to be your first impression of Twitch. Well, a lot of people probably aren't going to stick around. So anyway, let's go back and we're going to... So that's the foundation of how this is bad for basically everybody, and this is why I think it's bad. So I've explained all that, and now let's go ahead and move forward. So there's been a lot of conversation about this. A number of people on Twitter have been unhappy about this happening. And recently, it seems like Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, seems to actually be doing something about it. Dan Clancy asked King Galothian, right, and he's one of the most outspoken people that is negative about embedding, to put together a list of sites like F Extra Life to block today. He just worked on it on stream and sent it in. Said you and Co had a big part. I want to say, guys, also huge shout out to Quinn. Quinn was also very outspoken about this. Thank you, Quinn. A lot of you guys have been outspoken. A lot of other streamers have been. I don't want to just say it's one or two people. This has been a big issue for many years. And I will be so happy if this finally gets resolved. Yeah, I can go out there and Quinn, Co. Yes, thank you guys. And also, most importantly, thank you to the viewers. Thank you guys. This has been a problem, and I understand that this is primarily a Twitch problem. This is primarily a streamer problem. And I appreciate you guys supporting us and trying to uphold the integrity of our platform for what it's worth. Thanks. It seems like something might actually happen. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to say. It's kind of funny, like I had like a fucking 30-minute lead up to this, but this is really where it comes from. It's been an ongoing issue and Escape from Tarkov as well. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about Escape from Tarkov, so I can't really speak on that or talk about that a lot. Stay safe, lose half his viewers. Only a fool would think that there are 600 people that are actively on the Power Gun website at any given time. It's silly. That's obviously not what's going on. Tarkov ammo chart has the same thing. That's not my issue. I don't really stream Tarkov. I don't know about that. But yeah, obviously embedding is problematic. And the truth is that it is amazing to see hopefully something happening because of it. Thank God. Yep, there we go. So it looks like embedding is actually going to be curtailed, right? People use Twitch for a different reason. Embedding is fine. It adds to their website. Well, I would think the same way that you did if I didn't think. but unfortunately I've thought about the issue, so I don't have the same opinion that you do. And that's okay, right? I mean, like, again, it's not your responsibility to be educated on everything. But, you know, you want to go in there and, you know, put your opinion out there and talk about what you think. Well, then that's what's going to happen. Embedding the right way can be beneficial in some extent. And I don't think that embedding... I'm not sure if embedding should be wholesale removed or destroyed. But I think that the people that abuse it on like an every single day basis to farm the top of a directory in every single game that they play, I think that's very problematic. And I think that stopping the worst offenders like FX Your Life, which is the worst offender, that's the first step. That is the first step. It just shouldn't add to view count. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm not saying they should get banned. I just don't think it should add to view count. What about Luxos that embed on their personal sites? Like, not a business, just his personal site that he runs for his WeakAura and WoW UI stuff? I don't agree with any embedding. I don't think any embedding is acceptable at all, really. I think that some of it, there's a spectrum of, like, what's good and what's bad. And it's also, like, if you're embedding your stream and it's giving you 10 extra viewers, it doesn't really matter because the effect is lower. It's kind of like if you're speeding and you're driving 200 miles an hour. This is obviously bad, but if you hit somebody, it's 10 times worse. Because the effect of the action matters more than the action itself, right? The outcome of the action. So whenever you're embedding and, you know, it's not really massively changing the directory, you're not embedding for a massive amount of viewers, well, then it's not really as big of a deal. Do you see kind of where I'm coming from? So you're not principled, you just worry about if it affects you or your friends? Yes, because the principle is that it affects me or my friends. That's exactly right. So the principle is the effect. This isn't really like, is embedding a principally bad thing? Let's be real, right? So let's look at it. We'll look at this logically, right? So we'll go back to my 200 mile an hour logic. So if nobody was ever affected by driving 200 miles an hour, who here would be saying 200 miles an hour is bad? Why can't everybody drive 200 miles an hour all the time? Because if nobody was affected by it, then who cares? But the problem is because people are affected. Most bad things are not bad inside of a vacuum. They're bad because of the effect they have on other people. I mean, I understand. I probably should go back and just ban that person because they, it's clearly just like a hostile person talking shit. But looks like I can't really find where they were. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Embedding itself is not a bad thing, but what's bad is how easily it's abused. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't people like FX Your Life just show VODs on their site if the point was to only show that there are real people playing games? Embedding seems like intentional manipulation. That's because it is intentional manipulation. Like, what value is it to the viewer that there's a tiny little stream at the bottom left-hand corner of the bottom right-hand corner of the screen? So, how does a person read it? So this is actually, this is actually very interesting. Now we're going to get into a little bit of psychology. So you have a book, right? Or you have a screen. This is how people read screens in English language, right? Obviously in Japan it'd be different because they consume, you know, like manga is different, right? They go like this. Because that's the way people are taught to read. So whenever the screen is right here, it's clearly intentionally manipulative. Most people never see it. Yeah, and that's what they rely on. I don't get why embedding is useful or needed in the first place. All right, let me explain why. Higher viewer count, like, so viewer count, concurrent viewer count is the main metric that people use in order to determine whether somebody is a big streamer or not, right? It's not how many followers you have. I mean, all of these things matter, but it's primarily view count. So basically, if your viewer count is high, advertisers are going to pay more money, and they're being scammed because you're saying your viewer count is high and it's not really that high because the people aren't really watching the stream, logically, right? So that's number one. Number two, the other issue is that, it's directory placement. So if you're higher in the directory, you'll get more people that are organically going to see your stream. Like, for example, if I want to watch a stream for Fortnite, well, the first person I'm going to see is Ninja. And so most people are going to click on Ninja because he's the first thing they see. So if the first thing or the third thing they see, right, because there's a cascading benefit here. Why does Twitch give the embed option in the first place? There's a lot of reasons for it. It's a snowball effect. Yeah, exactly. Why is it even an option? I think that some people... I don't really know. I think Twitch uses it sometimes even. Can you explain how falling into the trap ruined that person's experience? Just don't watch. Well, they probably... So the reason why it probably ruined their experience is that they watched a person who was incredibly fucking boring, not doing anything, and they see that nothing is going on in the game. It's incredibly lame. There's no viewer experience going on. It's just a really, bad at the game. I don't know about bad at the game. I have no idea. But, like, it's hard to be bad at New World. But, sure. So, like, they're going to get their first impression of a game. Like, how many of you guys, like, you started playing a video game because you saw a really cool video of that video game? Me, many times, right? So, is it really unreasonable to say that the opposite can also be true? Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go, Carl Maxwell. Betting is fine. Bad take. Why is it bad? Explain yourself and your thinking. And let's get to the bottom of this. Zach, I love you. Just jealous. Nah, I don't like you. I'm betting you anyway. Anyway, Asmongold has to be right about everything. Okay. Alright, you're gonna have your chance right now, Stony. Tell me what I'm wrong about. 1 sec. Okay. He's charging up his, I'm sure he's cooking up a good one. Embedding helps troll streamers avoid the tyranny of view count and lack of discoverability on Twitch. You hate the idea that someone might maintain content outside of Twitch that adds value and drives viewers to them. Okay. Let me go ahead and address that. All right, let's deconstruct this. Embedding helps small streamers avoid the tyranny of view count and lack of discoverability on Twitch. Yes, it does, by allowing them to join the tyrannical class. You hate the idea that someone might maintain content outside of Twitch that adds value and drives viewers to them. My YouTube is my primary source of income and revenue. Actually, it's not. My companies are. But my YouTube is my second primary source. And so, like, the idea that, like, I need Twitch is relevant. I don't run any ads on this channel. I don't have any subs on this channel. I might have to change that. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But right now, I don't. And I haven't for years. So, like, you're wrong on everything. You have to admit, Twitch has crap discoverability, and this is part of why they added raids. There was a time whenever you did need Twitch, though. I would actually argue that's not the case. And the reason why I would argue that's not the case is I actually began on YouTube, and my YouTube channel was much more successful than my Twitch channel. That's why my first stream that I ever did had 250 viewers. And then my second stream had 1,000. It's because of my YouTube channel. And that's where I've always been popular. And then once my videos got really popular on YouTube, that's whenever I went from getting 8,000 average viewers to 30,000 average viewers in like a month or two. So yeah. Also, Twitch having crap discoverability is not a justification to cheat and then basically give some, like, basically hot potato that problem onto the next person. We'll see if this person has a response yet. Of course not. So if you could embed Twitch on YouTube, you might have driven a higher view count. It doesn't seem like cheating. So if you could embed Twitch on YouTube, you might have driven a higher view count. Yeah, you could have done that. Yeah, for sure. I like your content a lot, but it seems like you'd never be wrong about anything, and comes off a little narcissistic. The reason why I'm not wrong about this is because I know the facts better than the people that are talking about them, and I'm confident about that, and I'm asserting my knowledge of that information. There are many things that I say lots of times, like, for example, the Tarkov stuff. I don't know what's going on in the Tarkov section, and I just said, I don't want to talk about that. I don't know what's going on with that. I have no idea. So it's funny that you bring that up whenever, even inside of this individual topic, there is something that I clearly explained. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's it. I don't know. So yeah, I'm confident in my opinion because I'm an expert in the space. That's the case. It's a literal fact. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. I know what I'm talking about. Go for it. Okay. I just think what FX Life isn't easier, everyone would do it. They create good content out of Twitch and then subsidize it. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, yeah, you can type it again. So anyway, let's talk about this. So if, let's say, I have a website, let's say Starforge, right? We would never do this. Let's say Starforge starts selling embedding. Like, you can go to Starforge, like, for example, Joker can go to Starforge and give us $1,000, and we will embed his stream onto the front of our page. And theoretically, right, what if, right, we were getting 10,000 average viewers on our website all the time? Like, that would be really cool, right? So, like, imagine, like, theoretically, right, this is a theoretical scenario, that a person spends $1,000 and they get 10,000 viewers. Do you think that is functionally different than viewbotting? Because it's something that you didn't earn yourself, and all you're doing is you're paying somebody else to embed you. So if I had a really charismatic streamer, that wouldn't be hurting the viewers on Twitch thinking the game was boring. If they were very charismatic, they wouldn't lose followers every stream. Embedding isn't the problem. The problem is the embed number should not add to Twitch site viewers. Really great point, Vader. I totally agree with you. It sucks, but let's not pretend that Twitch viewers is a purely meritocratic process. I'm also not being devil's advocate. I think Extra Life adds value to the gaming space with their site, and they're able to do it in part with funds from Twitch. Okay, so let's go ahead and address this right now. Let's go ahead and break this down. That would suck. Okay, so that's bad then, right? Okay, so the situation that I created is bad. And why is it bad? Because it's functionally the exact same thing. So, like, what you're saying is that if the person builds it themselves, they should have the right to take advantage of it. So if somebody builds a viewbot, should they have the right to take advantage of that under the same logic? Because I feel like that's kind of the same thing, because both of them functionally accomplish the same goal. So I think that's not true at all. It's a bad idea. Let's not pretend like Twitch viewers is a purely meritocratic process. You are absolutely right. But what in life is? Is there anything in life that has a purely meritocratic process? I think that there is absolutely not. And because there's not, then I think that it doesn't mean that it's okay to just cheat and do whatever you want. Does that make sense? So just because something is not meritocratic entirely doesn't mean that it's doesn't mean that it's okay to cheat. Meritocracy is a fantasy. Meritocracy is a fantasy, but meritocracy is also an ideal. And it should be what you strive towards. You should strive that the people who work the hardest, who try the most, and create the best product and the best experience for viewers should be the ones that gain the rewards and they gain the benefits from those actions. And everything that takes you away from that is generally a bad thing. Also, I'm not being devil's advocate. I think Extra Life adds value to the gaming space with their site, and they're able to do it in part with funds from Twitch. The ends justify the means argument. It's okay for them to cheat because their cheating is beneficial to other people. Let's go to a website, maxroll.gg. I probably should subscribe to this. Or is there any embedding on this website? No, there's not. And I'm going to say it, and everybody knows it's true. This website is 10x better, 20x better than what you have on Extra Life. No embedding. Do you know why? Integrity. And it's the same reason also that the guys from Maxroll would have had their names at the top of the statue for Diablo 4. And they said, no, take us off. It's not fair. Unironic integrity. So no, I don't agree with you that it's necessary, and here's an example of why it's not. A better website that doesn't have embedding. So it's got Cyberpunk and Elden Ring content. So it's okay to embed if you're playing certain games, but not if you're playing other ones. Reality favors those with money. Go pay for a boob job and do hot tub streams. I think guys are going to destroy a good site that adds value with their weird pursuit of viewer account on Twitch, okay? So let's go ahead and address that. Go pay for a boob job and do hot tub streams. Let's go ahead and use your logic, okay? And I want to move on past this. We've been going on with this for too long. Where's the hot tub stream category? Where is it? I must have passed it. It's got to be higher up than this, right? 5,000 viewers. Wow. So this girl has 3,000 viewers. I have to scroll all the way down to here to see one girl doing a hot tub stream. So if you're going to say that this is some sort of like metric for success or something like that, it's just not the case. It's just factually not true. Hot tub streams and sexual streams are such a tiny fraction of the Twitch viewership. It's completely disproportionate, the emphasis people put on them.